Narratives that shape our world. The related text I have explored is The Outsiders, written by Susan Eloise Hinton. The Outsiders is driven by the conflict between the different social classes. The Greasers are from the economically struggling east side, while the Socias come from the wealthy west side. The Greasers are known as the lower class, who don't deserve to walk in the streets and go to the shops. The Socias drive fancy Mustangs and try to intimidate the less fortunate group. The conflict has been framed through S.E. Hinton's view on the 1960s civil rights protests and the fight for Martin Luther King for the African American rights. Ponyboy quotes, "We're poorer than the Socias and the middle class." This quote proves how Ponyboy feels inferior compared to the Socias, but throughout the novel, Ponyboy has conversations with the Socias, discussing their shared love for literature, music, and sunsets. These conversations depict that the shared passions can fill the gap between the rich and the poor. He realizes that even the Socias experience hardship through fear, sadness, and love. The Outsiders is a book that is full of violence. Hinton was exposed to a lot of violence throughout her childhood, growing up in a broken home and through the civil rights movement. The Outsiders is all about gang violence, child abuse, stabbings, and shootings. The setting is portrayed as an extremely dangerous place, as Ponyboy cannot even walk home by himself without having a terrible fear of getting attacked. The quote, "I had never been jumped, but I had seen Johnny after the 4 Socias got hold of him, and it wasn't pretty. Johnny was scared of his own shadow after that. He was 16 then." This quote represents the emotional and mental impacts of violence as a young child. Hinton embodies her schooling memories into the character behaviour. The fearfulness of Johnny demonstrates the terrifying violence in the American 1960s. When Hinton wrote The Outsiders in the 1960s, it was a time where the American federal government became hugely education-oriented. A lot of Hinton's personal experiences happened at school while she was educated. Throughout The Outsiders, Ponyboy goes on a journey towards finding his true self and discovering his place in society. The quote, "But we just didn't have the money for him to go to college, even with the athletic scholarship he won. And now he didn't have time between jobs to even think about college." This quote examines the unequal educational opportunities due to the economic factors. In the book, Darry had to sacrifice his own education to support his family. This is directly related to the African American movement in America throughout the 1960s. In Hinton's novel, she is trying to write a message to society that your background or your social status should not affect your education. This is exactly how Ponyboy's English teacher reacts. He recognizes Ponyboy's talents and treats him with respect and gratitude that everyone should deserve.